Welcome everybody to today's math topic, graphing a line from slope-intercept form. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking equations of a line that are given to us in slope-intercept form, and we're going to graph them onto a coordinate plane. So go ahead and pause the video right here, write down this vocabulary, draw yourself a little graph, unpause the video, come back, and we'll go over a few things. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to look at is we're going to be doing these equations as they're in slope-intercept form. So remember, our slope is m and our letter b is our y-intercept. So looking here at this graph, if you don't remember, that's alright, our horizontal axis, the one that goes from left to right, is our x-axis, and our other axis that goes from top to bottom, north to south, vertically, is our y-axis. So go ahead and label your graph like this. These are the type of graphs that we're going to be using throughout this video. Alright, so let's try graphing a few lines. So go ahead and pause the video here, draw yourself a graph, and write down the equation that I have listed here on the right. Come back and we'll work through it together. Alright, so the first thing that we want to look at, we want to figure out our starting point on the graph. And to do that, we use what we call our y-intercept, other known as our b value. So here we have a plus 2. So we know that our y-intercept is a positive 2. So our y-intercept, I'll just label that y-intercept, is plus 2. And then I know that my slope is next to my x, my m value, so my slope here is 3 over 4. And when we look at our slope, we consider this fraction as rise over run. Okay? And what that means is our rise is how much we're going up or down, and our run is how much we're going left or right. So let's go ahead and plot our first point. We know that when x is 0, our y value is our y-intercept. So x is 0. I'll go ahead and label this graph also, x and y. We're not going to be going left or right. We're only going to be going up or down. And our y-intercept tells us to go to positive 2. So I'll go ahead and I'll plot my first point. So now from this point here, from my y-intercept, I can use my slope to figure out where my other points are going to be placed on the graph. In this case, I have a positive 3/4, so I know my slope is going to be going up in this direction. It's going to be a positive slope. So I'm going to do my rise over run. So I have 3 as my rise. So I'll go up 3, 1, 2, 3. That puts me at 5. My run is 4, and it's going to be positive 4. So I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can place my dot here. So now I want to go back to my y-intercept, and I want to plot a dot to the left side of the graph. So I need to do the exact opposite of what I did. The last time I went up 3 and to the right 4, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have a dot on this side. So I have as many dots as I can place without going off the graph. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a straight edge, and I'm going to try and draw this line here. So now that I have my 3 dots, I can go ahead and I can draw my line. So I'm going to go through all these points here. Let me just extend this line out to cross through all my points. And that's it. That's my graph. I can draw my little arrows to indicate that this line is going to continue to go on. So go ahead and copy this down, stop the video if you need, and then come back and we'll try another example. Alright, pause the video here, write this one down, come back and we'll work through it together. So here I have a negative 2x as my slope, so my slope is negative 2, which is also the same as negative 2 over 1, and then my y-intercept, my b, is negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and start at negative 4. I'll draw my dot. And then now I have a negative 2 over 1. So being that I have a negative in my slope, I know that from left to right it's going to go at a downward motion, like right here. So what this is telling me, this is my rise over my run. So I'm going to be going down 2, 1, 2, and over 1 to the right, positive 1. Now I want to draw as many dots as I can, so before I went down 2 and to the right 1, I'll do the opposite and go up 2 and back 1. 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 Then up 2 and back 1. So now I've drawn all my dots. I can go ahead and try and draw my line to connect these. So I'll just draw this line extending here. And then I can draw my arrow tips. And that's it. We've graphed this line. This is y equals negative 2x minus 4. Alright, let's try another example. So pause the video, write this one down, come back, and we'll work through it together. So here I have a negative y equals negative 1x plus 2. I need my y to be positive, like in slope-intercept form, so I'm just going to distribute this negative 1 out from everything by dividing everything by negative 1. Now these negatives cancel. I have my y equals negative 1 divided by negative 1 is a positive 1. My x comes down. I have a positive 2 divided by a negative 1, and that gives me a negative 2. So here my slope is actually going to be 1 over 1. My y-intercept is negative 2, so my b is equal to negative 2. My slope is a positive 1 over 1. So I'll start at negative 2, and I'm just going to go up 1 over 1 all the way through. I don't think you want to hear me say up 1 over 1 all the time. So the opposite, I'll go down 1 and back 1. And then I can go ahead and draw my line. And always use a straight edge so that your line looks neat, it's legible, and we can tell which equation you're actually trying to represent. Alright, so that's it for that one. Let's go ahead and try 2 more examples. Pause the video here, write both of these down, and then we'll come back to them. Alright, so in this example we have y equals 4. I'm going to highlight this one in red. And then we have x equals negative 5. So when you see this as just one variable, y equals something or x equals something, what this is letting us know is that we're going to have either a horizontal line with a 0 slope, or we're going to have a vertical line with an undefined slope. So this first one, y equals 4, this is like saying our b equals 4. We're going to start our y-intercept at positive 4. And since we have no mx, or if we did have an mx where m is equal to 0, we would have 0 times x, which would give us a 0 slope. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line. Let's put this in red. And this is going to go from left to right all the way across. It actually should be touching the line. Let me just move that down a little bit. There we go. And then we can draw our arrow points here on the end. And this is y equals 4. Okay, so our next one, we have x equals negative 5. So we're going to start at our negative 5 value on the x-axis. And in this case, since we're using x, our line is going to be going vertically. So here we can draw our line. I'll put this in green. And this is just going to go from top to bottom here. And then we can draw our arrow points. And this is our vertical line, which is a undefined slope. Alright, that's it. That's pretty much all the examples, teacher examples we have. So go ahead and work through a few student examples. Pause the video right here, come back, and we'll work through them together. Alright, so for number 1, I'm going to do in a red line. Number 2, I will do on a green line. 3 will be blue, and 4 will be purple. So since I'm already in the purple pen, let's just, no, I'll move back up to red, that's fine. So we'll start with this first one, y equals negative 2x plus 5. So I'm going to start at my y-intercept, which is, oops. Alright, so I have y equals negative 2x plus 5. So I'll start at my y-intercept, which is on the y-axis at positive 5. I have a negative slope that will be going downward, and that's the same as negative 2 over 1. So I'll go down 2 and to the right 1. Continue my dots out. And can I go back? Nope, that's that. So I'll go ahead and draw a line here. Alright, that was a little crooked, but that's alright. I can move this there. Draw my arrows. Alright, so that's the first one. So the second one, I have y equals 2, so I'll go up to y equals 2, draw my dot. Here I don't have a slope, so I know it's going to be a horizontal line. So I will draw my line, put this one in green. And then I can draw my arrows. Alright, so this blue one, I have y equals 1/4 x minus 3. So starting at my y-intercept negative 3, I have a positive slope going upward, so I'll go up 1 to the right 4. So up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do any more on that side. I'll do the left side. I'll go down 1 and back 4. Here I can draw my line. Let's actually make that blue. Oops. Make that blue. I can draw my arrows. Alright, and then my last one in purple, I have x equals 3. So I'll draw a plot right there. I know this is going to be an undefined slope, so I'm going to be going up and down. So I'll put this in purple, and I'll draw my slope here, and draw my arrow tips. Alright, that's it. So go ahead, try a couple more problems on your own. And like always, I wish you all the best of luck.